What is going on, YouTube? So you have just purchased PGA2k25. You load the game up, you play a little bit, and you think to yourself, man, I do not know what is going on here. So my friends, I got you covered. In today's video, we're going to talk a little bit about club fittings, skill points, attribute points, stuff like that. So ain't nothing to it but to get into it.
Right. Thanks, man. Tell your friends.
What's happening, golf addicts? So here we are sitting in the main menu of PGA2k25. The first thing we're going to do is we are going to head over to Myplayer, and I will give you guys a quick rundown of the attributes. So we will go to Myplayer progression, and this is where you're going to assign all your attributes to your attribute points. Let me back up for a second here. We're going to assign attribute points to our attributes here, guys. So there is 12 attributes here that we can assign points to. You will be able to assign 25 attribute points to each of these attributes, guys. So do your math. 25 times 12 is whatever that is. That is how many points you're going to be able to attribute to this Myplayer with your virtual currency. You can see there at the bottom it says owned AP and available AP. So owned AP is the attribute points that you have available to you, that you've already purchased, that you don't have to buy with virtual currency. And then you have the 9 available AP is points that you have not purchased yet, that you, if purchased, you're able to still attribute to your attributes. So you can see I've already leveled up this technician to almost as good as you can get. So I only have 9 available AP left. So yeah, that is the attributes. You can also see there's something at the bottom left hand corner called respec. Respec is basically, if you pay 500 VC to respect your attributes, it's going to basically set them right back to stock. So that means stock from whatever archetype you chose. And then you're going to have all the owned AP that you've already purchased. So you can basically take all of the attribute points that you purchased and then reassign them to the attributes that you see fit. So you're basically gonna respec when you basically don't like how you have set things up. So respec is giving you the ability to go back and redo things, so to speak, because you cannot take points off once you have bought and assigned them. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the attributes. If we move to the next tab, you can see we have a skill tree here, guys. This is basically going to be the spot where you build your Myplayer skills. There's a bunch of things you can do here. You can see we're on tee, so it starts with a basic tee shot. So you use your skill points, which is SP, and then you can build up into your tree, right, to unlock other special shots. So you'll start with the basic tee shots, and then you'll have to use your points to get this, and then you'll have to build it out from here all the way up until you get to power drive here and then there. So basically every skill tree has a few different special shots. The tee shot has the choked tee shot and the stinger, as well as the power drive. Now, you cannot unlock the very last special skill of the skill tree without having leveled up the archetype that skill shot goes to. So the power drive is the Powerhouse Archetype Special. So in order to get to the power drive, you have to get any Powerhouse Archetype Myplayer to 85 to actually be able to unlock the power drive for any Myplayer period. So yeah. If we roll into approach, again, you just have the basic kind of shots to start with, and then we get into the choked approach, the off the deck. Off the deck is huge. Driver off the deck is big for par fives and 2, right? Long par fives and 2. You have the spinner. This is a shot that's going to basically one hop and stop on a dime, so that's a really valuable shot to have. You have the runner. I mean, there's a time and a place to hit a running shot, I guess. Times when you have a lot of green to work with, and you want it to run out, so that would be a time to use the runner. So the special in approach is the knockdown. So basically, like I said before, you can see it says right there, requires previous skill, requires sculptor archetype with overall of 85. So I have not leveled up a sculptor archetype to 85, so I don't have access to this specific shot type. So moving into recovery, you can see there, recovery has a punch shot, a flop shot, and then we have the super flop. The super flop is something that is really also valuable. It's a really high arcing shot, so super Phil Mickelson-esque.
But this is what he loves. He loves these challenges.
That is ridiculous. I'd give Phil 20 bowls. He's not.
It lands extremely soft out of like the rough and like shitty lies. So super flop is a really good shot to have. You have your choked punch. Again, that has it has its time and place, right? You can see the animation there shows it hitting it under a tree and running it up. So that would be a perfect shot for a choked punch. And then the recovery is going to be a magician. So again, I don't have an 85 magician, so I do not have access to this recovery. So we roll into bunker. Again, you have your standard starting point, which is the splash. And you can see, I'll talk a little bit about the contact and the swing path proficiency boost. This is going to be the thing that dictates how well you hit a shot. So we'll talk a little bit more later on in the video about the Evo swing and what the swing path and the contact points are, guys. But basically, these proficiency boosts are going to make your bars bigger. So you definitely want to do that, and you have to do that to build on your skill tree to get further on in the skill tree. So the bunker has a blast. So again, this is like something where you short-sided, you have a lot of green to work with though. So you want to blast out and you want it to run to the hole, because you don't want to try to throw it to the hole and then, not hit your power and then it's super short, right? So that would be a perfect spot for a blast. The power pick is, again, it's like a super spinning shot out of the bunker. So this is the fairway bunker shot, power pick. And then we have our, I guess, green side pick, which is basically the same thing. It's just for green side bunkers. Again, this is like probably one of the best shots to have in the game, because again, you can just throw the ball up and have it stop on a dime. So the pick and the power pick are two really good shots to have. If we roll into green skill tree, we have, again, all of our basic stuff, chip and putt. We have the bump and run. The bump and run, again, has its spot. Play wherever you see fit. Some people feel really good with the bump and run. Some people, they just want to throw the ball at the hole and stop it on a dime, right? Some people want to bump and run it and try to make it. So it's all about personal preference, ladies and gentlemen. We have a Texas wedge here in 2K25. So again, that's like for you're off the green, got lots and lots of room to work with. So a Texas wedge is a shot you can try and hit from like 50 yards, really. So, and the special skill for the green is the green reader skill. So this is again only unlocked with overall 85 greenskeeper archetype. Again, I have not done that, so I do not have access to it. And this is where all the Clubhouse Pass special skills are going to be. You have like your standard stuff here at the top. So right now we have the tie spinner. We're in season 1 of Clubhouse Pass, so I think this will be season 2, right? And basically this is available for like if you have basic Clubhouse Pass, you have to get to a certain level to get the tie spinner. And then again, you have your proficiency boosts here. So yeah, that is the skill tree, ladies and gentlemen. All right, guys, so we have gone over the attributes. We have gone over the skill tree. Now is time to check out our golf bag and give you guys a little bit of a rundown on the fittings and how they work. So we will go into our golf bag. And as you guys can see, I have a pretty decently fitted golf bag at the moment. I'm going to go into my putter because that's the only thing I don't have fitted with anything. So it'll be a perfect spot to give you guys a little bit of a rundown of what's going on and what those numbers mean and what that jewel means and all this stuff. So we'll go into putter, we'll press upgrade. So you'll see we have 4 different slots that we can put one of our fittings in, right? So you have different fittings. You have power fittings, you have fittings for rhythm, you have fittings for contact and swing plane proficiency boost. So you have recovery fittings, shaping fittings, you have correction fittings. So this is where you're going to apply them, right? So you can see it says +2 there. What does that +2 mean? That +2 means for whatever fitting you place in that slot, it's gonna 2 times whatever your yardages are gonna be at. So you can see that, I mean, the putter's not a good thing, but I guess you can see if you look at putt path, you can see our putt path is going up by 2, right? So basically we could up our putt path if we put a putt path thing in each one of these slots. We could up it by 2, 4, 6, 8 points. So we could get it all the way up to a 70% putt path by putting fittings in right here. So that's what the +2 means. And there is basically, you see this jewel here. This is what is an evolve. An evolve, you're going to need what is called an evolve tool, which is like that little wrench, you know, that we would use to change like a driver head or whatever, right? You use that evolve to evolve your club to the next level. So if I was to evolve my putter, I would evolve it from the basic standard to emerald, right? And then once we have evolved it to emerald, these slots are now all going to be +3. So that is how that works. If we go back to like check out, like say my irons would be a good example because they're emerald. So if we go back to here, you can see I have leveled up. So now I have 5 slots here, and they're all +3. So whatever I choose to put in there, whatever fitting I choose to put in there, it's going to +3. And then depending on what you want to do with it, you can definitely pump it up. So you can see I have 1 power fitting. If I wanted, I could put all power fittings, and I could increase my yardage by my power by quite a significant amount. I could get my power up to probably close to 80, I believe. I don't know exactly what it'd be, but. And then you can see here, if I was to evolve my iron set, I would now be in what is called the Sapphire, which is going to be +4. So you go from a standard, which is +2, to the Emerald, which is +3, to the Sapphire, which is +4. So we will look at my driver, which is Sapphire, leveled all the way up. Go to upgrade. So yeah, you can see I've got 5 power fitting because I wanted the most power on my driver. You can see there my driver has a 290 carry. I'm only getting that 290 carry because I have 5 power fittings on my driver. So if I did not have any power fittings on my driver would be like 278 or something like that. So and then you can see I cannot evolve my driver anymore because I'm not going to be able to evolve it until season 2 of the Clubhouse Pass. So hey, that is what it is, right? So hopefully I did like a half decent job explaining to you guys what the fittings do and how to utilize them. Let's now go have a little bit of a look at the new Evo swing, shall we? All right, guys, so before we head into the range and I give you guys a little bit of a rundown on the new Evo swing, first we're going to go into Myplayer and we're going to go into appearance and info. There is something new to PGA2k25, and that is going to be found in the info section. It is now you're going to choose a ball flight, guys. This, whatever you choose, whether you choose a fade or a draw, is going to play a big part in how the Evo swing works. So I will see you guys on the range. All right, so here we are. We're sitting on the newly updated PGA2k25 range, and you guys may or may not notice there is something new with the shot feedback meter in the bottom right there. You can see it is no longer a straight up and down swing. It is it's a little bit on a diagonal. So if you remember when we went into the info section in our Myplayer creation and it said ball flight being either a draw or a fade, this is where that draw or fade comes into play, guys. So you could see my guy was set to a draw, so my shot axis is set for a draw. So like I said, my axis is angled from, I guess, top left to bottom right, which would kind of represent a draw in an actual golf swing as a lefty. So what can I say? Also, if you guys remember when we were in the skill tree, I talked about swing path and contact proficiency boost. If you see those little white boxes in the shot feedback meter, the top is what is your contact point, which is that's going to represent your club face being either open or closed at contact, and then the bottom one is going to be your swing plane. So those two things are going to be the most important things for you to actually play good in this game. So that's why you want to definitely get those contact proficiency boosts like leveled up in the skill tree, because as you do that, they get bigger. So the bigger they get, the easier it's going to be for you to play the game, right? So let's try to hit a shot here, and I will show you guys what it looks like to hit hopefully a good shot. So let's see if I can do it first try here. Pressure's on. Pressure's on. Let's hit a nice high draw for the viewers here. Hey, wow.
Wow. I feel like I'm in the Highlander.
Okay, that's a good start. So you can see that was almost as good as you could get. I missed my rhythm, but almost as good as you could get. And you could see that it was a nice draw. The wind is working left to right. However, the ball drew no matter what, because our ball flight is set to a draw. So if you hit perfect on the contact and swing plane, you're always going to get your desired shot shape, be it you set a fade or a draw, guys. So that is kind of what the Evo swing is all about. If we look at the settings and we look at the difficulty settings, there's going to be 6 difficulty presets. Mine is on legend at the moment, but you can see there's a perfect swing preset, there's an amateur, a pro-am, a pro, a master, and a legend. So the first 3 guys, the swing plane is still going to be straight up and down. So if that's how you think playing the game will be the most enjoyable for you, then play either on perfect swing, amateur, or pro-am. But once you get into the pro, master, and legend, that's when your shot bias comes into play and the axis changes from a straight up and down to either like this or like this. So just be mindful of that, guys. And there's things you can do like in the settings here, like you can turn the swing bias input offset off if you want, right? Like I could play legend swing and turn this off, and then you'll see here if I go back to the range here and I go try to hit a shot, and if I perfect it, I didn't perfect it, but that's weird. It still drew, so that's interesting. All right. Well, in any case, you can see, oh, that's why, because the swing input bias is now, it's straight up and down because we turned that off. So the axis is no longer turned. So let's try to hit a straight one. So there, we hit a straight one, and I guess the shot still shapes, but the swing bias is straight up and down. So yeah, be mindful of that. You can tweak your settings to however you see fit, guys. What else can I say here while we're in the settings? You can turn vibration to however you want. Like there's something called correction. So if you're playing with the swing axis, the swing bias input on, which is the diagonal swing, you're gonna get like a vibration if you're not hitting that swing plane, right? So say you're going straight up and down and you're playing with the swing bias on and you're going straight up and down, the controller is gonna vibrate if you have correction on. Now you can have one that is for your transition, so that's when you get to the top of your backswing, it's going to vibrate to let you know when to start your downswing, or you can have it off. So that is that, or you can have it just straight up on, and that means it's going to vibrate for the transition and the correction. So and yeah, there's a bunch of other stuff you can go through here. Nothing that is really important for this video, guys. What could I say? I'm going to release more videos, tutorial type videos, I guess. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button, man. It is entirely free and it really helps my small channel grow. I cannot do it without you guys out there. So thank you for watching. And if you can be anything in life, be kind. Peace.
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
No.